can't get better than that. Yeah, we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. I said we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. Yeah, we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. Say we all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. I said we all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. Do better, you can't get better than that. Yeah, we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. I said we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. Yeah, we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. Say we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. I said we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that.
Oh.
Oh. Woo! Welcome everybody to another hangout with Gangstagrass time.
Told you I'm gonna make it happen.
The 99th year of our pandemic.
Yeah, what year is this? 2020?
9053.
March.
Yo,
March,
anybody
March,
see the
yeah.
meme of the ball? It says like it says 11:59 59 seconds of 2020, and it says like 13:01 2020. I'm like, wait, what? No.
It's real.
It's real.
Can't be.
This is definitely
January.
This is definitely the year to get a Groundhog's Day year.
Oh my God.
I mean, that just means that everybody needs to start doing good things for other people selflessly, right? That's the answer. That's how we get out of this.
Like we keep going. We keep going back to January 1st until the point where we learn to like pay attention to the news, quarantine right away, stay away from each other, and then have an awesome year after a few weeks.
That would be great.
Yep.
No.
Correct.
I don't think it would happen.
Accurate. I mean, what can we, I guess what will convince people to do this if not a global pandemic? Like, is there, I mean, it's only aliens invading, right? That's the only thing. And apparently we just learned like last month that the aliens are already here. They've already invaded, and they were like, you guys actually aren't ready. So. Yeah.
Talking about that on Black Tribbles last night. The boy from the Israeli army?
Yep.
Said that the aliens have been here, just chilling, and Donald Trump knows about it somehow. I was like, you know what? Of all the people that know about this, for him to know about it, yeah, I'd be like, you know what? I quit. I'm going home.
Well, you can't quit America because we mostly can't leave.
Nah, man, I'm going full Martin Luther King. I'm going to Canada.
I'm pretty sure Canada is not letting that happen right now.
Listen,
I mean, Pharaoh got to Costa Rica. You could get there.
I won't find me an old underground railroad tunnel. I guarantee you it's one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just show up at somebody's house, somebody's backyard in Canada. They're like, what the excuse me? Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good. It's just me. You'll be all right. It's all good. I'm not even trying to be up in your space. I just want to go through here real quick. It's all good. Do you want? No, just don't mind me, sir. I will see y'all later.
Yeah. So everybody tuning in, let us know what you want to know about, and we may reveal Gangstagrass secrets if you ask about them. Anything you want to know about, anything you want us to talk about that we don't even know about, we'll talk about anyway. Put it in the chat box, chat box, and chat with us so we can hang out for tonight. Get to know you. You get to know us.
Hey, my cousin's on here. What's going on, Gus? What's going on, cuz?
Woo!
You guys remember Gus from California?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
That's my man, boy. He was shouting us out on this podcast that he did a little while back too.
Nice.
I forget the name of it. It was a really nice long John. It's actually he was saying how my dad was the one that told him he should sing, and now he's singing and such.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him.
Yeah. Oh, we got Nebraska in the house on the YouTube chat.
Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Gus wants to know how to get him on his next CD. How to get us on his next CD, bruh.
Bring us $1 million.
Come on, cuz that's a given. You know you got me whenever you need me.
Wait, he's on the West Coast?
Yeah, he's out in Cali.
You know what that means.
You got me.
Sour
whenever
cream
you need me.
donuts.
Yes, indeed. That's easy. Are we ever going to play in the Middle East? I'd love to see you in Abu Dhabi. Bruh.
Yo.
Bruh.
Yes, I would love to be out there too.
Listen. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. We are down to do that, and yeah.
I want to shoot a video in the joint connecting the Coronas Towers and the little joint, the two tallest buildings in the world that look like giant dicks. I want to shoot a video in there,
man.
Mm-hmm.
And then climb on the outside of one like Tom Cruise. Let's do this. Come on. Boom.
Yeah.
And then drive a car out one window into the other window like Fast and the Furious. Come on, let's do this. Gangstagrass. Yeah.
Jeff on the Facebook wants to know, what was your funniest performance and where?
Actually, that says funnest performance.
Your funnest performance.
That's hard to say.
They're all so funny.
They're all very fun. It's hard to narrow it down to one.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got to shout out the parties at Purple Fiddle.
Yeah,
it was a really good time.
Ooh, when we tested
Thomas,
the
West
floor.
Virginia.
Yeah, Thomas, West Virginia, the Purple Fiddle, Sweet Nolas.
No Sweet Nolas. Oh, when the Gangstagrass, there was a band called the Plank Stompers that opened up for us at this amazing Cajun restaurant, Nola's, in Winchester, Virginia. They played, we played, and then we all went out and just started jamming each other's tunes and formed a new band on the spot called Gangstagrass. And those were amazing sets.
Yeah.
Hey, look, William, if you know some folks out there in Abu Dhabi that got venues that are like, you know what this needs? You tell them, hit us up,
man. Reach out to us. We'll make it happen.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the hookup on an early coronavirus shot, so I'm gonna get mine a little bit early, just because I know a guy that knows a guy. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Y'all, we could rock Sharjah so hard we'd get kicked out of the country.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
I'm okay with that.
As long as they get us paid, as long as we get paid before they kick us out.
Yeah, right. Give me that green, and it's on and popping.
And also after we've gotten a chance to sample all of their finest smoked meats.
Hey guys, there's a question for us from my dear cousin Gus. Says, do you ever feel a weight upon you to educate folks about the beauty and oneness of the music you play and how it is so culturally similar because of the banjo? Man, that's all we do.
Do we ever? Do we ever?
Although,
I mean, I don't feel it as a weight upon me as much as an opportunity to talk about some awesome stuff that, can blow people's minds. And so for me, it's kind of like a good news thing. Like, hey, guess what? I got good news for you. Did you know that all these American genres are actually connected with a bunch of common DNA, and all this like separation between them was artificially imposed? Now you know. And breaking down the specifics is always actually a really cool, fun process.
What most of y'all don't know about getting into the inner circle of Gangstagrass, which I'm happy to be a part of now. Before I got here, I had to go around in slacks, a white shirt, and tie, and knock on people's doors and say, "Have you heard about Gangstagrass?" And there's a lot of doors slammed in my face, but I learned how to just put my hand in there, which is why I've got problems with my hand, and tell them, "Hey, I think you should really know about Gangstagrass." And that's how we got a couple of fans.
That's the key. You have to have the evangelicals recruiting the evangelicals recruiting the evangelicals. That's the or I guess the gangsta evangelicals. Oh, that's good, because it's like the gangsta van.
Evangelicals.
The gangsta evangelicals.
Yeah. By the way, for anybody watching on Twitch, any emotes that you put in the chat are gonna burst forth upon the screen on our stream in Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. So have fun with that. I'm gonna throw some up there right now. People watching on YouTube and Facebook, this might be confusing for you. You may just see some things just
floating around
popping
your
up.
screen.
Just
You're
put some
not
numbers
having
in
an aneurysm. That stuff is actually there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Santa hat. You can. Oh, there's new ways to. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is unlocked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. At some point, it does take the emotes a sec. There you go. Wow. Pew pew. I just gave Dolio a little Santa hat.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Who I'm gonna give Wrench a little Santa hat.
Wait, who is that lady?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fun.
Sorry.
Oh no, wait, no.
Oh,
Wrench
we
gets
were-
the top hat and the carrot
that
nose.
Lady Valentine's Day song, just saying.
Mhm.
Why
This
has the
is
ref
so
got a
funny.
hand coming out of his head? What just happened?
It's crazy. It's crazy up in here.
Yo, what is in this coffee?
Yeah.
Holy
So
Jesus.
that's what's going on with that. We're gonna have fun chatting tonight with Gangstagrass. Ask us more questions. Tomorrow afternoon, we're gonna have a sleeves DJ dance party and sharing of cool stuff, which is always amazing. 3 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And for anybody that doesn't know already, we have a super cool club of people that get behind the scenes access to special videos, songs that we're working on, stuff from the archives, unreleased stuff. Would you like to get a whole pile of goodies regularly from Gangstagrass? Go over to gangstagrass.com/barnstormers. We will put this link in the chat, and you can sign up to be a barnstormer, which means you will not only be supporting us to help us keep making cool stuff, but you will be getting extra special cool stuff that nobody else gets. It is very cool. And here comes the link in the chat. Anybody out there that's not a barnstormer, just go check it out and see if you can sign up and become a barnstormer. We'll see if we can get a couple new barnstormers tonight, taking us to new heights of creative output. Because it is a way that you actually can directly support a band to keep doing what they're doing. 100% of it goes to us and our quest to get new pants and tacos.
And if you want cool shades like this, it will include cool shades like this only if you're in a Zoom call and you click on the shades filter yourself. But you can get them if you get.
Unfortunately, I can't wear those type of shades.
Yeah, right. But you know which kind you could you could wear. You could wear this type.
I left for 30 seconds. Come back.
There we go.
I feel like
All right, that doesn't really work.
Shades.
That doesn't really
Feel
work
like
for
I got
me
hit in the
because it's
head.
too high up. Those are
Wait,
nice.
where'd my shade go? There we go.
So we got Betty Lynn in the house on the YouTube stream. We got Linda in the house on the Twitch stream. Shout out to Barnstormers that are part of our awesome club already. They just received an email with links to log into their Barnstormers page and get a free download of the entire first Gangstagrass experiment called Gangstagrass Volume 1 that is not available anywhere else.
That's true.
But to the Barnstormers. And we love it.
That is correct.
We also love these filters.
I just like that the ears are keyed to the blinking of the eyes.
I know.
Oh, that is cool.
That's creepy. I'm afraid of that.
There we go. Now I feel like I'm in a place.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
And now I feel pretty. No.
The daisy is cute. Yeah, what are those things? I was looking at the two. They're called like butterfingers or something.
I don't know.
Butter freckles. It's so close to Butterface. It's dangerously close to Butterface.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that's the route. That's the route right there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We are Gangstagrass and we are very serious people.
I feel like the beret on the Enterprise bridge is like one of those times when a holodeck character gets free.
This is like shark mouth. I don't know what this
but
is.
it doesn't.
Shark mouth face.
You kind of need a whole shark head. Like, it doesn't really work with just the mouth.
Such a shark mouth face. Welcome back, everybody, to this very serious news program starring Gangstagrass. News and views and pants and shoes here with you live on Gangstagrass.
I don't have either of those second
TV.
two things.
Speaking of serious things, I think we should. It's hard to be serious with my aunt right now. Speaking of serious things, coronavirus. Let's give folks a quick update on the.
And
That's just whack.
A little bit of spoken word poetry, a la higher learning. What is corona? What is virus? What is coronavirus?
It's whack.
It's whack.
I had it for a minute, and it was corny. I didn't have it nearly as bad as most folks, thank God.
Mhm.
And it's easy to not get.
Well, somewhat.
You know,
It's definitely easy to reduce your chances of getting it.
Yeah, which I should have been doing, but whatever. And it's real. It's actually a thing. You know, it's not a conspiracy to kill black people.
No,
it's not.
That's
it doesn't come from 5G phone towers.
That's right.
We have uncovered a conspiracy, but we're going to talk about that later. You're going to have to stay tuned, find out about the information that we have uncovered, particularly about the vaccine. It's going to blow your mind. But first, we'll just talk about the virus. Now, we had a molecular biologist on talking to us last week. That was great. It was serious. It was silly a little bit, but also a lot of great information. And she pointed out for people that need to be reminded that a virus is essentially a parasite. It is not like a bacteria thing that grows and multiplies on its own. It needs a host, and the only way it spreads is going from one host to another living host or something in between while it's in its short period where it can live on its own. But it only goes from living within one organism to somehow living within another organism. So it's got to be passed through touching or breathing or something that it can travel into another living thing and take over one of those cells to start cranking out copies of itself, which means that is its great weakness. Because if it's not able to jump to another host, that's it. It's a wrap.
Right.
It just stays there like.
So you got to keep that in mind when we're talking about how to deal with the virus. Is keeping it from jumping to new people is crucial, and each person that you avoid having it jump to makes a huge difference, because if it were to jump to them, then from them it would have jumped to a couple other people, and each of those couple of people potentially jump to a few more, so that affects spread. So each person that it does get to, equals thousands of people down the line as it spreads. So you prevent one person from getting it spread to, you're cutting off a whole line of descendants of this virus.
Right. What was it that they found that there were like from 2 vectors at the Biogen conference, like one of them led quite directly to 220,000 infections and the other one led to like 80-some thousand infections. And that's just,
You
just
made
to
it
start.
sound like something happened at the Biogen conference that spread the virus.
It was,
that
people who had the virus went to the conference. That was that was the Boston one.
Yeah. They're calling it the Biogen conference.
Right, because it sort of generate, but but that's very real. You have a couple people in a crowd who have it, and just that's what the math does, right? You have if every person is spreading it to say 2 people, that multiplies real fast.
Especially
like the reason.
Airborne.
Right, exactly. And it's super airborne. It's so airborne that 6 feet thing, like, by all means, stay 6 feet apart, but that's really not enough. Out of MIT years ago, they figured out how far a sneeze travels on average, and it was something like 27 feet. And that's just...
Yeah. When you're getting down to those, like, microscopic particles that can float, and the breath that you're expelling can get those really far because they're not heavy enough to just fall down. So this is part 1 of the conversation is how to not be an asshole.
What do you think spread more, Sturgis or that swingers conference?
Oh, man,
most definitely the swingers conference. That was like direct fluid contact.
I don't know. We want to go down this road because some people are competitive. I might take this as I'm going to top both of them. You watch me.
No,
you watch me.
White House Christmas party.
I'm having a swingers on motorcycles rally
at the White House.
Right. I mean, well, and every rally, in the last couple weeks before the election, Trump was having like multiple rallies a day, and that that's just dangerous and irresponsible. I mean, you think about it. That's a few hundred to even a few thousand people, and they're all using the same porta potties, right? And not washing their hands and high-fiving each other and hugging each other and touching their faces and shouting and singing very loudly the words to YMCA.
Getting left behind and stranded in the middle of a cold night.
Right, huddling together for warmth when the buses that are never going to come don't come.
Yes. But why, the part of this that makes somebody an asshole, and I'm talking about the memes of like, oh, I don't need to wear a mask, I have an immune system, and all that kind of stuff, which really is just not thinking through this, because you may have an immune system, and even people with strong immune systems are sometimes getting taken down by this. But let's say you're lucky, you get it, your immune system handles it, but along the way there, you are touching things and breathing on things. And like we talked about that spreading, right? Somebody's catching it from that if you're not being careful. And that person is probably spreading it to a couple people, and they're probably spreading it to more people. And somewhere along that chain is somebody who doesn't have a very good immune system because of an illness or because of their DNA or a whole bunch of potential reasons why they end up getting it and dying from it. And it's not like they were like, I'm just going to neglect to have an immune system. Right? It's not their
I left my immune system home that day.
This is not like, something to be proud of. I have an immune system, not like those lazy people. Like, this is like not, regardless of whether that's even a valid point, like, this is not even about a meritocracy. This is just about like the cold hard facts of some people's lives that you can either care about or not care about.
And I'd like to remind folks, we're losing real people.
Yeah. Can I, so part of why, look at that beautiful background, Pharaoh. I'm still a little confused. Is it?
We're going to figure it out.
That's Tim Tiny Lister.
I was
passed away.
More confused about the top versus the bottom, but yes.
The top? I don't know what.
It's a whole meme that's great, but it's Debo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he rolls up with somebody who's like, "Yo, that's my Halo now."
Yes.
Oh yeah, and they were like, and it was like, "Yeah, that's my Halo." He's like, "What Halo? What Halo?"
Exactly. Because of coronavirus, Debo is now stealing from angels. This is what we've done.
Well, we don't know if it was actually that.
I mean,
No.
we
They
do
said
know
he
we,
was exhibiting symptoms of it, but there hasn't been any actual confirmation, at least not released to the public.
Which brings us to another point. The Sleeves was just talking about this before we got on here. The numbers, I don't think they're I think they're a lot higher than we think.
well, so
And
yeah, it's interesting. And the way this came up, actually, I have two cousin things that have happened. I wish my cousins watched this live stream because I feel like I wouldn't be having these problems if they did. But one was today, my cousin, who's a recent college graduate and works at an ice cream shop. So, she's coming into a lot of contact with people. It was her birthday today. Happy birthday, Kels. And she went to my grandmother's house with her sister and mother, unmasked, inside, sitting on her stuff, touching her stuff, breathing out into my grandmother's air. My grandmother is 88, so it's not her fault if she doesn't have the immune system that my 23-year-old cousin does, but it's not just about the abstract but very important thing that Wrench is talking about how you're spreading to unknown people. You're also spreading to people that you love and care about. And my cousin was like, well, I haven't seen anybody in 7 days, which is meaningless. My other cousin had a negative COVID test, but the reason she had the test was because she works in a school where somebody was positive. And negative COVID tests can be wrong, or often wrong. They're very often wrong if you get them too early, which is why you're supposed to wait after exposure for a while to get the test. So, either of those cousins could have been carrying it. And my cousin's other rationale was, oh, but I don't have any symptoms. And I feel like, how can you get to December and not know that a big part of why this virus is such a huge problem is because a lot of people don't exhibit symptoms while they have the virus. And that just because you don't have symptoms doesn't mean you're not shedding the virus. You are. And in fact, some science has said that some asymptomatic people, and everybody is different, but some asymptomatic people were actually shedding more virus than some people who had more severe cases. So that means nothing. Just because you feel perfectly fine doesn't mean that you can't be giving the virus to someone you love, like my wonderful 88-year-old grandmother. So dear cousins, please don't be dumb. But what Farrah was talking about was from a conversation with another cousin of mine who posted on one of my Facebook posts. I posted that 1 in 1,000 Americans has died from COVID, which is accurate. We have about 330,000 people in America, and so as soon as you get to million, correct. So as soon as you get to 330,000 COVID deaths, that's 1 in 1,000 Americans having died. So here I got a lot of comments from people who were like, that's terrible. And that's what I'm saying. So the reported number is around, it ranges between, probably by today, it's ranging between about 313 and 325 as the official number. And CDC's numbers are usually going to be a little bit behind because they process from actual death certificates that they're getting. And that has a delay of up to 2 months, like an 8-week delay in processing those death certificates. So oftentimes the numbers that you're seeing from CDC are actually, a month or two behind. And so, right, think about that. Whereas the other sources are getting their numbers from county dashboards and state authorities that are having that information first before they send those death certificates off to the CDC. So we're looking at definitely on the death certificate, deaths reported as COVID or probable COVID are in that 320,000 or so range. But if you go and look at the CDC's weekly numbers that show you up to such and such a week, so right now the numbers are up to December 16th, you can see how many people have died of any causes where COVID was at least one of the causes. You can see how many people have died of influenza, pneumonia, and and or COVID. So if any one of those causes was on their death certificate, that number is there. So think about this. Right now, that number, actually, I'll pull it up so I have it in front of me. The number as of December 16th of people who have died in 2020 from influenza, pneumonia, and or COVID. So at least one of those causes is on their death certificate. 423,212. And remember, these are CDC numbers, so they've got about up to an 8-week lag on them. So 423,212. And their COVID deaths number, so any death that involves COVID at all, whether or not it has pneumonia or influenza, 276,000 plus deaths from that. So think of the Venn diagram, right? You have COVID, anybody who died of anything involving COVID. So this is going to be COVID with influenza, COVID with pneumonia, COVID with both, and COVID without them, right? COVID with heart attack, COVID with, stroke, COVID with other respiratory failure, right? And then on the other side, you have deaths involving pneumonia, influenza, and or COVID. And some of those deaths are just pneumonia and or influenza, and some of them have COVID involved, right? So you've got in the middle of that Venn diagram the deaths involving COVID. So what you need to do is you need to say, okay, there's 276,000 deaths involving COVID-19. Some number of those did not involve influenza or pneumonia, but let's just say they all involved influenza or pneumonia in order to get the smallest possible number here. And you subtract that from the number of deaths that are pneumonia, influenza, or COVID. And when you do that subtraction, you get about 147,000 deaths that, according to their death certificates, involved influenza and or pneumonia, but not COVID in 2020. 147,000 deaths, and that's the bare minimum, right? Because if half of those COVID deaths didn't involve influenza or pneumonia at all, you're only subtracting half of those COVID deaths from the influenza, pneumonia, and COVID number. So that number is at least 147,000, but could be 247,000. It could be higher than that. That they're saying that according to the death certificates, those people died of influenza and or pneumonia, but not of COVID. So you think about that number, and that's a pretty big number for a year, especially because, in this year we've had January, February, March of the flu season, but we still, in those numbers, we're not going to have most of November, and we don't have December yet, really. So how many people normally die in a year of influenza and pneumonia? Any guesses?
Not a lot.
At least 7.
At least 7. Typically, the CDC estimates those numbers, but you can actually look at the death certificates. And if you're looking at the death certificates, the number you're going to see is going to be typically under 40,000. If you look at the estimates, it's going to be closer to 50 or 60,000. In a really, really bad flu year, it's going to be maybe 70,000. And then they'll have like a high-end estimate of the absolute most people who died of influenza and pneumonia in that year. And that's going to be maybe 90,000, maybe 95,000. But that's like their highest estimate. And the CDC will even say, we don't really think it's that high. It's probably more like 65,000 in a pretty bad flu year. And they do this every year. So if in a typical year you'd have, let's even be generous and say 70,000 people would have died by now of influenza and pneumonia, which, by the way, would make this the worst flu year we've seen in like decades. That still leaves at least 77,000 people that on their death certificate, it says they died of influenza or pneumonia, and it does not say COVID. So it's highly unlikely that those people actually died of influenza or pneumonia. It's highly likely that those are COVID cases that were not counted as COVID. So right there, easily, bare minimum, 70,000 cases that are COVID that weren't counted as COVID. Right there. So that puts us at about 400,000.
Yeah, Em, when are you releasing your op-ed?
Well, as you know, I used to be a journalist, and I typically don't publish my stuff anymore. But but you can find it at darthcovid.com. DARTH.
As soon as Sleeves is ready to have her apartment visited by federal agents and be escorted out.
That's right.
She'll
That's right.
make that public.
That's right.
Coming to season 3 of The Mandalorian, Darth COVID.
Darth COVID. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
We only just recently learned about Darth Fiber.
That's right,
Darth
Fiber. Yes, there's a thing called dark fiber, which we are not allowed to speak about.
Oh yeah, we're
Right.
not supposed to talk about.
Right. Can't talk about that.
I forgot. I was supposed to. I was trying to remind myself to speak about it with my colleagues, but I forgot.
It's one of those things that disappears itself from your brain. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Everyone forget
Yeah.
what you've just heard. Except the part about the flu and pneumonia deaths that are clearly COVID deaths. Remember that part, because that actually matters.
In fact, you all will have MIB agents coming by your house very soon.
That's right, with the little flashing
and
things.
you will only remember that.
Right.
You're about to get straight flashy things.
Straight flashy thinged. So there's a couple other really interesting things about the excess deaths. Are you guys interested in that?
Yeah, lay it on us, honestly, because if folks don't know, Sleevy Wonder over here has been doing the research and the homework on this all year. And she has been letting us know and keeping us safe as she can keep us.
Says Pharaoh from Costa Rica.
Listen, Sleeves, she kept me from shooting ultraviolet rays up my butt. She kept me from drinking bleach.
Mhm.
She kept me from doing all that stuff. I was like, hey, this will work. The president said so.
That's right.
I mean,
That's why I shipped our son some orange juice, because
The
I
only
said,
reason
no,
that I didn't
not bleach, orange juice.
drink bleach.
And when I say she tried, is like I did spend a good part of early summer, butt up to the sky for a couple of days there, and it didn't do anything.
That is an actual thing, by the way.
Wait,
That is an actual thing. There's a
Butt up to
dude,
the sky.
Reef
Wait a minute,
posted
wait a
this thing. Yo, your man was doing yoga for 15 minutes, butt naked, like having the sun shine into his butthole. I swear to God, that's an actual thing.
look,
It's-
that is not what was it? Counting Crows. That's not what they meant when they said black hole sun.
No, that wasn't Counting Crows.
That was Soundgarden.
That was Soundgarden.
Yeah, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. You are going to get us arrested by the music nerd police.
Yeah, my bad.
They're going to
I'm
shut us
sorry,
down.
I hadn't heard the song in forever. I just remember the video was creepy as hell.
Oh my God, that video scared the shit out of me, dude. I saw it the first time. I was like, I'm never watching that
It
again.
was like the Aphex Twin commercial video.
Yeah, they're done with that too. Nope, never again.
There's another story I could share about that, but Sleeves, please tell us this interesting thing.
Yeah, we get.
We be getting distracted.
Hey, I mean, that's
This is why you have to go everywhere with us, because we would just be driving off of bridges. Like, what's over there? Whee!
We've only done that like 5 times.
it always ends up fine.
Theme
Yeah.
for us getting distracted is like bulls on parade, but cats on parade. Cats on parade. Dun-dun,
That's what we need a video for.
Everybody could put on their little cat filters. Wait, is there a little cat filter?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
no.
See, I'm just as bad as everybody else.
Yeah.
So where is my cat filter? Is that one? Yes. Hello. Is that a dog? I can't tell. What is that? It's kind of
lion or something.
I guess.
It's a Nittany lion. I don't know.
There you go. So
I'm gonna grab some cool cat stuff while Em is explaining this for us.
we're a whole family of cats.
I have no idea how to do any of this.
It's on the latest release of Zoom. Shout out to Zoom for making all of this possible. It's they have new video filters. Like, if I wanted to, I could tell my my thing to give me lipstick. It doesn't, like, you can barely tell.
Yeah.
I like the eyebrows, though. The
It's
eyebrows
nice and
are
understated, though. It's like a make under.
pretty cool. Make under. Okay, so while I was looking into the flu and pneumonia excess deaths, I was also looking into excess deaths generally and into excess deaths from particular causes, right? Because this is what my cousin James said. And my cousin James is married to a nurse, so he should know better, but that's all right. He said, but the problem with your numbers is that COVID deaths are getting overcounted. Now, we all now know just from the flu and pneumonia numbers that they're actually being undercounted. But he says they're getting overcounted because, and this was his example, not mine, if you get into a car accident and you're decapitated and you have COVID, they will count it as a COVID death. And then he said he gave a second example, which is if you have a heart attack and you have COVID, they will count it as a COVID death. Now, let's take those separately, right? Because these are two different...
Yes, those are very different situations.
Well, considering that COVID is a cardiovascular disease.
Yes, okay, let's start there. So one is, if you have a heart attack and you have COVID, there's actually a decent chance that not just a decent chance, there's a very high chance that COVID had something to do with that. Might you have had that heart attack eventually anyway? Yeah. But would you have had it that day? Probably not, because you had the extra pressure, besides whatever problems were already happening with your heart, you had the extra pressure of COVID attacking your heart, attacking your lungs, attacking your internal organs, messing with your circulatory system. So there's a lot that it's doing internally. And they found this using MRI scans and lung and chest x-rays, that there is heart and lung damage, not in everyone, but even in some asymptomatic and low symptom cases. So just because you feel fine doesn't mean that COVID isn't inside doing damage to your internal organs, which is a big and important thing to know about this disease, even for my cousin who thinks she feels totally fine, so it must be perfectly okay for her to go to my 88-year-old grandmother's house and hang out there for several hours, also with no mask. Even with a mask, that wouldn't be a good idea, by the way, because there's still
really sounds like
virus
she should be
coming out.
watching this episode.
I think I'll send it to her afterwards. We'll see. I don't know. Who knows how anybody's attention span is, but I'll send her some key clips. I'll send her the part where I tell her happy birthday, and then just attach
Make it into a
something.
funny meme.
Right. Yes. Right. It'll be like 45 memes though, because it does take a minute to explain this. There's real numbers
46.
happening here. 46. Almost. We're almost there. I'm a big fan of 44 personally.
True that.
Yeah. Okay.
42. It's the meaning of all.
Also down with the Douglas Adams. Sure.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the excess deaths in general, and what I found was that so here's how I did it. I'm actually very pleased about how I did it. So I pulled out the spreadsheets from CDC. You can go to the CDC Wonder database if you want to do this. It's a little, oh, look at the cute cat. Sorry. It's a little tricky to figure out how to use the Wonder database, but you can pull out mortality statistics from any year. There's a big long list of years you can pull from, and I love that you guys are making this better by having cute cats and puppies. This definitely makes this a better situation.
Cute.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Something adorable in the background.
Yes. So let's talk more about death.
This should have killed you quickly, puppies.
Interesting fact, the puppies could not catch COVID. The cat could. Cheers. I am not sure about Calypso over there. The conceited guy definitely could get it. So what I did was I pulled out the 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018 numbers. And I had Gritty with me because you got to have some grit when you're doing that. Right. And yes, for sure. And I looked, I actually added up the number of deaths for all these different causes for each year.
Yeah, and then it resets at the half. Sorry.
What resets what to half?
He's asking me basketball questions.
Okay, so I grabbed all these deaths data for all these different causes for these 5 different years. And so the reason I chose 2014 through 2018 was because that was definitely before COVID, right? 2019 theoretically, depending on what we end up finding out later about it, might have influenced COVID influenced numbers, even if to a little bit of an extent. So I just went through 2014 to 2018, and I found out how many heart attack deaths happened that year, how many Alzheimer's deaths happened that year, how many diabetes deaths happened that year. I did that for all 5 years. And then I found an average. So of those 5 years, what's the average number of heart attack deaths? What's the average number of Alzheimer's deaths? The average number of diabetes deaths? And I also looked at the number of abnormal or not otherwise classified deaths. So those are the natural cause deaths that are not, but they don't know what actually happened. They're just like, yeah, something, the guy's dead, but we don't really know why. And that gets that classification. So I looked at the averages, but I also looked at what was a high year. So what of those 5 years, what was the highest? I like how interested the cat looks in this. What was the highest?
Because he knows he can get it.
That's right. This matters to you, cat. This is important. If your owners aren't careful, you could get COVID. So make sure they pay attention. Okay, so then I looked at the high year, which in almost every disease was 2018, which does just go to show you can really see our life expectancy falling. Part of it's population growth, so of course just the raw numbers are going to be higher, but part of it really is an actual change in the percentage of people who are dying of these things. So in a high year, every one of those causes of death was 2 to 5% higher than the average. Okay, so a bad year, any of those causes of death is 2 to 5% higher. And I looked at all causes too, right? So I looked at all of the deaths, and those were also 3% higher in a bad year. So that's a good baseline, right? 3% higher in a bad year. If puppies were like 3% more adorable in a year, you probably wouldn't notice. You'd be like, you seem a little more adorable. Are you a little bit more adorable? But you wouldn't necessarily be sure.
I think our voice is just a little bit higher pitched when we talk to puppies. So instead of like, oh, it'd be like, oh,
I think our son's cat is the cutest of all. I'm very, very pleased with his cat. Okay, so we now know that pre-COVID, a bad year would have about 2 to 5% more deaths in any given category. So then I wanted to see, all right, what has 2020 had? Oh, by the way, I didn't compare the whole year because I was doing this in like early October. So I looked at the 34 weeks from February through September. And that's what I looked at for every year. So those are the numbers I was actually looking at. So that a direct comparison of February through September of every year. Now, in 2020, remember, a bad year is 2 to 5% higher. In 2020, the number of deaths from all causes, just period, the number of deaths up 19%. That's a huge difference. There were over and above the average, there were an extra 340,000 deaths that you would not expect. And that was just for that 34 weeks. Remember, that was before it started getting really, really bad in these last few weeks. So up 19%. And then I looked at, okay, well, some people would say that people are dying because they're committing suicide, or they're getting into gunfights and murdering each other, or, they're behaving recklessly because they're pent up. And so maybe it's the unnatural cause deaths. Yes, Wrench? You're muted.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you might have been assuming causation based on the correlation there, right? This year, there's more deaths. This year, there's coronavirus. The causation that, a lot of things happened in 2020 that didn't happen before, right? Like Tiger King came out, and everybody watched Tiger King, so maybe that killed a lot of people.
Right, exactly.
But it sounds like you're getting to that.
I am. So
everybody knew it was Carol Baskin.
If the tiger killed people, that would be an unnatural cause of death. If there was just something in the show, you know, like the Max Headroom blip verse. Shout out to anybody who's actually watched Max Headroom and remembers
or like
that tiny
the
thing.
ring for everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
Oh, that's some kind of weird Hobbit thing, right? Never mind.
No.
No,
Yeah.
it's something else.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go lock my door because the movie nerd police are really about to take me to jail for being even involved in this at all.
Yeah, the movie nerd police have already.
They're coming.
No, they won't.
It.
They definitely. I know they won't come
days
to
are
my
numbered.
house. They won't come anywhere near me. I am a lost cause in that way.
Yes.
Oh, that is. I don't even know what's happening there.
That's what happens when you get a cat that gets coronavirus. They get all messed up.
That is so disturbing. Okay.
For people that need this disclaimer, that is not actually what happens
Right.
when a cat gets coronavirus.
You'll actually hear them.
I really think anybody
hear
in
them
that category
sneeze.
has probably left our stream by now, because we just went through like 20 minutes of math, right? So we are definitely just preaching to the choir right now. Okay, if you're still watching this stream, you're probably like on a level, and we don't actually need to be telling you this, but enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, so I looked at the unnatural cause deaths as well, right? To find out, is it the tigers, like that people got a bunch of pet tigers and they're getting killed by that? Is it the suicides? And the unnatural cause deaths are actually down 1,000 from the high year of the 2014 to 2018. So they are not up. They're like a slightly above an average year, but not super significantly.
Coconut scented with mango flavor.
Hey, Quiet Horse 80 cheered. Oh, you must be a math person.
Thank you, Noli.
Heck yeah.
Noli D coming
Heck
through.
yeah.
Boop-a-doop-boop.
Caring about the stats. Yeah. So
I hope everybody is feeling way informed by this, because you've got the real skinny on this.
I haven't seen this analysis elsewhere. This is, thank you, Gritty, Sir Gritania. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't seen this analysis elsewhere, and a lot of that is because, as a former journalist, I know that most journalists don't like math and they don't like diving into numbers, and they prefer to get their information from a press release or what have you. And a lot of times people don't quite understand what's happening, and they'll just write it off.
Make sure people realize that you come from an era where journalists were journalists.
Yes, that's right. 1 million years ago, at the Washington Post.
The dinosaur journalists were really had their stuff together.
They really did. Even the T-Rexes. I mean, they had a little trouble writing it all down, but yes. So I care about the data.
Yeah, Michelle wants to know if this data is going to be put up online somewhere.
Yeah, so you can go to darthcovid.com, darthcovid.com, and that just takes you directly to my personal website, but it takes you specifically to the page that has all this stuff on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so feel free to go to darthcovid.com. You'll see the whole analysis. Thank you. It's probably going to actually, it's a forward, so HTTP should work. Yes, even though it is actually an S. Mm-hmm. That's totally good. And you are welcome, Michelle. Thank you for asking. So we've determined it's not the unnatural cause deaths. The natural cause deaths, they're actually up 20% over the average year. 20%. That's gigantic. That's so much more than you can explain by this just being, not a great year. And I think it really cuts against this idea that COVID is being overreported, right? If COVID was being underreported, we'd be seeing about the same number of deaths, maybe a few additional deaths. But instead, we're seeing these massive numbers of additional deaths. Okay, so then let's look at the different diseases, right? Because another question is, are people dying of heart attacks, but instead of saying it's a heart attack, they're saying it's COVID? And the answer is heart attacks in 2020, in just those 34 weeks, 7% above average. And that was the low one of the diseases I looked at. Alzheimer's, 16% above average. That's right, Gritty, you wear that face shield. Diabetes, and this is the one that really got me. Diabetes, 23% above average. What does that tell you? That shows you, plain and simple, how badly COVID is affecting people with diabetes.
Wow.
Right? Because those people were living with diabetes and they died from COVID. Right? And then, and I looked at other things. Like I looked at septicemia, right? I wanted to see if this was true across the board. Septicemia, blood poisoning, that's actually down slightly from the average year. Down very slightly, like within the margin of error, but so it's not that every single cause of death.
Higher incidence of kidney failure, like renal failure.
Yes, for sure. And I didn't pull that out specifically, although I could. But yeah, for sure. There's higher cerebrovascular diseases. So that's going to cover a lot of your circulatory system, plus also strokes and whatnot, aneurysms. That's 11% above average. But that diabetes number at 23% above average is it's really, really clear.
Yeah, and also considering diabetes is it's one of those things that affects the Black community a lot.
Quite so. And that's actually like way back. These are numbers I haven't revisited. I have been meaning to, and I will. Cat in a gas mask. Excellent. So I haven't revisited these numbers lately, but I was looking at the numbers from Montgomery County, Maryland. And I was looking at those back in, when did I write this? Back in June. So these were just the numbers from the first couple of months of the pandemic, but it was super interesting and important to see those numbers because Montgomery County, Maryland, as I know Pharaoh knows from living in the vicinity, is actually a pretty good demographically. It's a pretty good distribution that's approximately representative of the country as a whole. So what I saw was, these actually were Maryland numbers. This was beyond just the county. So Maryland, also a pretty good demographic representation of the country as a whole. They had almost exactly the same number of COVID deaths among people who were categorized as white non-Hispanic. And white non-Hispanic people make up about 60% of Maryland's population. They had approximately the same number of deaths among white non-Hispanic people as they had among people categorized as African American, who make up 30% of the population. So that population is half the size and had the same number of COVID deaths. Right there. Oh, butter emails. That's one of my favorite ones. Can you send me that background, Dolio? I absolutely love that. So yeah, as hopefully Pharaoh's connection will jump back soon, and we'll be able to tell him about that. But it's really clear when you look at the Maryland numbers, that at least as of early June, COVID was killing Black people at twice the rate that it was killing white people, double. And then the final number that I'll mention here that really shocked me was, remember I talked about the abnormal.
There's a whole lot behind that, though, right?
Oh, there's so much. It's healthcare disparities.
There's a disparity in the treatment that we tend to get in healthcare facilities.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie. Remember that first couple of weeks when everybody was like, "Yo, Black people can't get this right." I was kind of hoping.
Yeah, but but that felt so dangerous.
When I first started hearing people say that, I was just like, okay,
they're trying to get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Any second now.
Yep.
That is how they get you.
That's right. And that's a whole, that's why I was so grateful to have Dr. Hudson on the show last week, because, she addresses that and the concerns in the community about whether you can even trust a vaccine. How many children are at your house right now, Rand?
What's going on, man?
Right, there's like a whole party happening. That's right. This is real rap. So the last number that I want to throw out there, and And quick sidebar, if it is an unnatural cause death, like the tiger or the car accident, that will not be counted as COVID, right? Those are separate things because COVID is a, though horrible, natural cause. So if you are killed in a car accident, no matter what other, maybe you had diabetes, but they're not going to write down that diabetes was part of the reason you died because of a car accident. So same thing with COVID. So my cousin who was like, if you get in a car accident, you get decapitated, they're going to write it down as a COVID death. Straight up not the case. Just period. That doesn't happen. But the question about the heart attacks is one that requires a little more digging. So those abnormal deaths, the one where they don't know, they are up 144% in 2020. 144%. And remember, a normal year of like very bad above average is 2 to 5%. 144%. So this is how you can see where a lot of those excess deaths are happening. So it's much less likely that a death is going to be said to be a heart attack and COVID and not be COVID than it is that a death is going to be called a heart attack and not COVID when in fact it was actually a COVID, created or COVID pushed along heart attack. Math. What is behind you, Wrench? What is that creature?
I believe it might be a bear cat.
Is that different from a meerkat?
Yes, absolutely. It's more of a cross between a bear and a cat, but still cute.
Aww.
Yeah.
What about those, what's the giant rat called? With a C?
Oh, capybara.
Yeah, the capybara.
Yeah. I might have some capybara handy. Let me see. They are awesome.
Really? Okay. All right.
You don't know that capybara is like one of my favorite animals? The world's largest rodent. They are great. You should just play some footage of capybara right now.
That would be a nice break from the math, sure.
Here's one.
Oh wait. That's not it. Don't even.
I'm fairly certain there's at least one New York City sewer rat that's like, world's largest rodent in my ass.
Yeah. Okay, it's time to.
He's got Tim's on right now. He's like, man, that ass B. He ain't nearly as big as me.
Okay, so here's a capybara having a spa. Let me get this going here, and I'll share it with everybody.
Yeah.
The world needs to know.
Tell us. Having a spa.
Either capybara's chilling in a spa.
Aww. Really? They have faces that adorable? They look like little hippos.
Oh, yeah. I've seen one of those at a county fair.
Aww.
It was in Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Aww. I love
Find a
them.
good spot here. Oh, he got one on his head. Got the orange on the head.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, you can see why I'm a big capybara fan, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, he looks like a camel.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't like that. I'm sorry.
He's like,
what? Wait, what? What?
Welcome back, Pharaoh.
That's not where we left off.
It still starts with a C. How about that?
What was that?
That was a capybara. You know capybara? We gotta do some capybara education for the world.
Yes, here.
I didn't know.
I'll tell you what. We'll pick a Friday night soon to make capybara night on the Gangstagrass live stream.
Capybara night. That's gonna get featured on the Twitch front page.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. That's.
The COVID education session turned into a little bit of a capybara intro.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You gotta keep it light, man.
Hey, cat, gas mask.
Yeah, we're enjoying the cat gas mask. I think that's gonna turn out better than some of the cats with masks that I just saw recently.
Oh.
Here,
Are you my mummy?
I'll share one with you. Here's a cat that somebody put a mask on.
Wow, that's a thing.
Wondering how long
Coconut
that...
scented with mango flavor.
You're right about that, our son.
That's one.
You're right.
Well timed. Well timed.
That is one way to keep the cat catching the vid.
Yes.
Also, probably.
Yo, that was creepy. Yo, that cat is probably a crime fighter.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fighting the crime of people not wearing their masks properly.
I actually want to believe he's a luchador.
Yeah.
That was Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw. Dr. Claw.
I only know the song Mr. Claw.
I love Mr. Claw.
That's a great song.
Mr. Claw.
Mr. Vanity Claw.
Is that Skeletor's joint?
Yes, it's Castle Grayskull. And that wasn't Skeletor's joint.
That's where the sorceress lives.
That's where the sorcerers lived. He was always trying to break into Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
Man, my nerdism is like...
Get up on your Masters of the Universe, bro.
Man, we are so in trouble with all kinds of nerd police tonight. Oh my god. We're gonna get some fines in the mail. They're gonna be like, you have racked up $600 in nerd tickets tonight.
It's like my whole arm disappeared in there.
So that's the revenge of the nerd police.
Yes.
Right? So we were playing at my game night with the Looney Labs folks. Shout out to Looney Labs and the greatest game. Get the MacGuffin. We were playing we play on here Quick Wit. We were playing the Jack Pack version of that, Quiplash. And one of the questions was basically a weird thing to be He-Man's catchphrase. And the thing that cracked me up and continued to crack me up all night was if He-Man said, "I have the cornflakes."
I have the cornflakes. Is holding the cornflake up. Yes.
I mean, I'm sure he's making plenty of money on that endorsement deal.
Yes. So I believe we also wanted to share with folks the new version of "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yes, please.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
please.
you gotta
The
show
male
that.
part replaced.
Yes.
So let's bring that. Anybody that's on TikTok, follow Gangstagrass because I'm there just having fun with it and doing stupid, ridiculous things. So let me figure out how to get this up in time. Let's show you that. Go to this one.
Really can't stay.
Okay, bye.
I ought to go away.
Take care now.
This evening has been so very nice.
I'm glad you like it now. Get home safe.
My mother will start to worry.
Better go.
My father will be pacing the floor.
Damn, you really gotta
So
go.
really I better scurry.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
maybe just a half a drink more.
I think you might have a problem.
Neighbors might think,
These neighbors don't care.
say what's in this drink.
Whoa, I swear to
I wish
God.
I knew how to break the spell.
You know that we can hang out another time.
I ought to say no, 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 sir.
Nobody's stopping you.
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
It's really not
But
that
I really
hard.
can't stay.
Here's my
No, but
jacket,
it's
it's
cold
cold
outside.
outside.
Really.
Starts right over again because it's a TikTok.
So great.
I was waiting for you to get like a little bit more belligerent. Like I told you to hit the road, broad. Get the
There are
fuck off
Ubers
my
outside.
steps.
Yeah, we'll do that one too. We should have a night of 1,000 baby. It's cold outside.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Now I want to hear that whole thing in Joe Piscopo doing Frank Sinatra.
Oh my God. It was funny. I was just watching that with I was showing it to my mother-in-law because she hadn't seen it before.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
The Joe Piscopo Frank Sinatra with Eddie Murphy is
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder
doing Ebony and Ivory.
Oh my God. You are blind as a bat and I have sight. I was like, yo, what the
side by side, you are my amigo Negro. Let's not fight. Great, yo.
Oh.
I could not breathe watching that. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that best of Eddie Murphy Saturday Night Live. Listen, you could not run none of that right now.
Oh,
none of it.
Nope.
I don't know. No, you probably could now.
You can get away with the James Brown Celebrity Hot Tub Party. And that's about it.
Did you see Dave Chappelle's most recent guest spot on there?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You could probably get away with it now. They don't care.
Yeah. Was he smoking? Was he smoking this time?
Yes, he was. He did the monologue with a cigarette, just like whatever, dude.
He's like, I don't even smoke. I'm just doing this because I can.
Uh-oh. We got a hot take question coming in on the YouTube chat from Aries God Aware.
Yes.
The question is, when the two rappers sing as you look at your phones and videos, is it because you haven't had enough time to remember the lyrics?
Want to be super clear. I believe this is referencing My Brother, Where You At? And like how quickly we put that together.
Yeah. So and I had to explain this before. When we those videos that you're seeing from My Brother, Where You At? That's a recording session.
Yeah, that was a recording session. That wasn't.
So we were actually recording that for the mixtape.
Right. So those lyrics had just been written.
Yeah, a lot of that was brand new.
Some of them like seconds before the tape ran.
Yes.
No. Which you'll never see a Gangstagrass show where we're reading off of
Not ever.
Yeah, not on stage. There's never a cell phone reading.
That
on
don't
stage.
happen. That does not happen. We were in the studio actually recording. Just like if you saw somebody, coming out of their rhyme book or whatever they write their lyrics at. That's that. Yeah, you'll never see that. No.
Yo, who was the spoken word poet that used to like come out with like a 20-foot long scroll?
Oh God, I know you're talking about. I forget who. I don't know if it was Saul, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember he used to come show up to the poetry slams and just unfurl this thing that would like roll out and then just spill off into the crowd, and he started reading.
Yeah, you can do that.
I might have to do something like that. Hear ye.
Yeah, we got a few of the videos from My Brother Where You At are up on our YouTube channel. In case you want to go to Gangstagrass channel on YouTube and check out, it's the actual take of the recording that you will hear on the mixtape. This is a video capturing the actual tape because we did it all together in one take. It's not edited or anything. So this is video capturing us doing it, and that's the one that's on the mixtape. Most of that is up on our YouTube channel. Some of it is not public yet and has only been sent to the Barnstormers to see a few of those that are not public videos yet. So again, more goodies going out to the Barnstormers. For anybody that doesn't know, Barnstormers is an amazing club where we are offering some premium goodies, Gangstagrass material that's not available anywhere else. Behind the scenes footage, stuff from the archives, some stuff that were even just ideas that we're working on that aren't done yet. We just sent out to the Barnstormers a couple of holiday songs that we are in production on to see what they think. So anybody out there right now that's appreciating us and loving what we're doing, wants us to keep doing it, be part of the amazing club that's keeping it going by going to the Barnstormers. We'll put the link in the chat again. Gangstagrass.com/Barnstormers to become a whole part of our ongoing creative endeavor by subscribing and making it possible, and then getting all these amazing goodies. It's so good, the Barnstormers. Let's see if we can get you over there in the back, and you over there that are in the chat right now.
Yeah, the handsome.
Head over to Barnstormers to Gangstagrass.com/Barnstormers and sign up, and we will have a huge party that we got new Barnstormers, and you can make us so happy tonight.
Yeah, we
You
are
can go
actually
over
going to
and
have a
join.
Do all that
Barnstormers
right now.
party.
Right now,
That's
Sid.
for real. Dolio, do you and I have a confused look for the same reason?
Yeah, it says something about
Fall?
the video fall.
Yeah, we
I'm not
we
sure
don't know what
that
that is. We don't. Yeah, sorry.
Video
But we have no
fall?
idea what that is.
Yeah, the person that was asking about phones and videos said it was actually the song Fall. So if any fans out there want to tell us what our song called Fall is so we can remember it.
Yeah, we gotta learn that one. We need to learn that quick.
Yeah, I mean, because if we're gonna make a Seasons album, we definitely need to throw that one on there. Get a nice spring song.
Fall, tripping. No.
Right.
I didn't write a song about falling off of Hadrian's Wall yet, so maybe it's that one.
No, that's a good title for his tune, though.
Did fall off
that's the
wall.
video.
Yeah, that
we
reminds
need.
me. That's part of the footage. Well,
For
not you
trekking.
falling off Hadrian's Wall, but we do have.
Although
the
I
footage.
wish it was.
Oh,
Right, we do have the footage of Hadrian Wall, which is actually part of the video for trekking.
yeah. Okay, we have a
Not yet been
clarification.
released.
We have a clarification from Aries. He actually meant fly.
We fly.
yeah,
yes,
that was-
yes.
yeah,
From
yeah.
my brother, where you at? Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. So all the stuff they said before applies to that. Yes.
All of that was fresh.
Yeah, that was fresh, juicy
freshly
goodness
written.
right there, man. That was some brand Nubian stuff right there.
That's right.
Yeah, there was actually some. There was also some stuff in there that was not written.
Yeah, man, it was. We was going new.
Yeah,
Totally,
that's
yeah.
so damn fly. That part was kind of.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's a good part.
So good. And you know, one thing you'll see when you see Gangstagrass live is a lot of freestyling. Like our son will jump off the stage. We might have to vary this a little bit in COVID distancing times, but you know, and
We'll
actually
have the our son hologram jump off the
Yeah.
stage.
I think we're probably not going to be doing the part where we spit on the audience anymore.
right, or have everybody breathe in each
There were
other's.
some people that really like that are
I
gonna
know they really liked it, but we just can't ethically do that for now. Temporary. We'll bring it back when it's really fully safe
Listen,
to be just
when I-
drooling into the open mouths of our audience members.
When I get my shot, I'm licking everybody.
When you get the second
Everybody.
dose,
We
only
walk
after
through
the
crowd
second
like,
dose.
You know what, guys? We need to get serious again. So I want to talk about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Since we're now in the season of it, and
Oh.
just based on the song, well, I think this applies to like the movie and other stuff as well. Okay, I want to talk about what the point.
Coconut
of
scented
Rudolph the
with
Red-Nosed
mango
Reindeer,
flavor.
okay?
Well, there's the sequel to that where he goes to rehab.
Okay,
Right.
all of that aside, we know. Okay, the setup at the beginning, right? He's getting picked on by all
Right.
the other. They're excluding him. They're not letting him join in because they're a bunch of dicks. All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
because he's different. He's but the thing that's different about him, they do not find useful. So they're like, "Screw you, man! You're out. You're lame. You're different. We don't like you." And then what happens is, they find out that difference is like a superpower that's useful to them, and then they're like, "Oh, cool! You're a hero. You're great." And that's the end. It's like, okay, like you're happy. Like, moral of the story is that you're included now that you have a superpower. Like, what about reindeer that are different, whose difference like doesn't happen to like save Christmas, but they're just different. Like, there's still nothing wrong. Like, why can't the lesson be for those fucking asshole other reindeer to start accepting the different reindeer, whether or not their difference is something that saves Christmas? Because like that's what I really.
That's a
the story I
way
really want.
longer song, dude.
That's
It's a way longer song.
There's no
Plus,
reason we couldn't write
if
the
you-
next part of
if
that
you-
song.
If you go back and watch, particularly the stop motion animated one, which may be the greatest thing ever.
Right. That's the one you remember when you think of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Santa wasn't really involved in a whole lot of that. Like, he was just
No.
kind of doing his thing and trying to put some weight on.
Yeah,
Because remember, he was
I
mad
blame
skinny.
this squarely on. This is on the other reindeer. 100%.
And it was really on I forget, was it Comet that was Rudolph's dad in that one?
I bet.
That made him put the little cap on his nose and was like, "Nah, man, don't. We don't want nobody to know that you like that." And then of course,
I'm sorry. Comets are racist. We all know this. So it's like,
as soon as the John thought he was cute, Rudolph was like, "Oh yeah, baby," and the little cap popped off. And then they were like, "Beat it, freak! Oh my God, scram!" and him and the other elf took off because the elf didn't want to make toys. He wanted to be a dentist.
Mhm.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, I just watched that thing a couple days ago, man. No, that whole thing is bizarre, cuz it was so nuts.
What was the one with Jack Frost and the Heat Miser?
Oh, that was the Year Without Santa Claus. The Heat
Yeah.
Miser, yo, I want to sample that so bad. The horns on the Heat Miser and the Mr. Snow something. Yo, the horns on that thing. That little that shit is hot, boy. It's so banging. Friends call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch
We're gonna do this.
starts to melt in my clutch.
Yes.
I'm too much. Yo, that shit is hot, boy.
Yo, I just pulled up the link for it real quick. Do we all want to hear that song real quick?
Yo, run that.
Oh, will we get snatched off of
Are we
Facebook
gonna get
for
in
playing
trouble
it?
on
The-
Facebook?
Yeah, might
Yeah.
be. So we can have that'll be our little after party after we cut the Facebook feed and the
Yes.
YouTube
Okay.
feed, and we're alone on Twitch with our buddies on Twitch, who will get to hear it in the moment. It'll probably get muted on the archive version.
Yeah.
Yo, that
right.
shit is so hot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to hear that so bad. It's been
As
so
a
fun.
matter of fact, that's the
Twitch
name of
has
the song. Look, we're gonna take the loop, and the song's called "I'm Too Much," and it was just go, yo, that's just gonna be hot,
Yeah.
dude. Yo, that's a banger right there.
Should
Let's
Okay,
kill that,
bro.
y'all.
sh-
But
Yo, Twitch has been getting kind of happy with the trigger finger when it comes to the mute button, man. They muted out
Apparently.
one on a DJ set. They muted out like a couple of my tracks. For
like, wait, I own these.
they were like,
Yeah.
these are copyrighted material. I was like, I know, I copyright them. I'm like, come on.
I own that copyright.
I think
Yeah.
you should be, like you should be able to, as you're on your own Twitch stream, be like, I'm going to play my own song now. This is mine.
Yeah,
I
the problem
swear to
is that
God.
it's
yeah, I
it's
don't
all
think the
automated,
computer is
right?
going to
So
catch that. I mean, you can.
just
There
like-
is
That's
a
all
way
going
to
through
appeal.
through the programming, and so if you distribute your stuff through any online distributor to get onto Spotify or iTunes or whatever, that's the same database they're going to use to be like, oh, can't play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this whole discussion of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Jack Frost stuff, because we do have a couple holiday songs that we have created that are currently only available to the Barnstormers.
Let's
Yeah.
check. We got any new Barnstormers yet?
Aries God Aware just asked about Gangstagrass doing a Christmas carol.
Ooh.
We got songs.
A bluegrass hip hop carol.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, the Barnstormers actually get the sneak peek of that before it comes out.
Or would it be a
Yeah.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadana, Miska,
What?
Arbor Day
You
carol?
you went the same wrong way as Pharaoh did on the actual backup vocals.
That's how I knew it was wrong.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Darn it, I can't remember how the order goes.
Chris-
I have to like read
Chris-
the name. To
Thankfully, I've been
Christmas.
practicing this for 15 years.
Kwanzaa,
Yeah.
Hanukkah,
Muskama.
That's what you were saying
Musmaka.
instead of Musmaka.
Musmaka.
Yeah.
Masmaka.
Yeah.
Musmaka.
Oh, you know what?
Arbor Day.
When we were trimming the tree, I forgot to put the baubles back up.
I feel like this is a euphemism, and our phrasing is
Phrasing.
we're not doing
it.
phrasing.
When I
You're
trim the
we should be
tree.
doing phrasing.
I mean,
And you put the
You gotta put
bobbles
the
up.
bobbles.
Gotta
Put
put
the
the bobbles
bobbles
up.
up.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
no, because was it last year or the year before we were all gifted
Oh,
these
the whiskey
was
baubles.
last year,
or
right?
rum baubles. Yeah, they had liquor in them of some sort.
it's gin.
Oh wait. Hang on, I have mine.
Yeah, I still have mine too. I only like opened one of them, but I hung them all. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to remember if
they're Christmas tree ornaments that happen to be filled with liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
These Jimmy Jams,
Yeah.
the gin baubles.
Yeah, those are the ornaments I forgot to put on the tree. I mean, I'll put them up eventually. This is giving our household those things. You know, none of that stuff comes down until after Three Kings anyway. So,
Right. Right. Of course.
which
Naturally.
is when we do the gifting.
I really want a box of those baubles again. How do we do that?
Wait, did you drink all your baubles?
I never drank one of them. I gave them all as presents.
What are you going to do if you get more of them? You're just going to give those away too? Some kind of selfless act?
I'm gonna give a bunch away, but I'm gonna keep one for myself.
Oh, by the way, guys, Jim Blair on the Facebook chat, who was in our Oxford gig in 2018, says that when the MCs came out into the crowd, was one of his favorite memories.
Yo,
That show.
Oxford was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was so much
That
fun.
was hot. That was.
Oh, this is the guy with the Weissenborn instrument that we signed.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Weissenborn,
yeah,
that was
word,
so
word,
fun.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good to see you here, Jim.
Yo, and I must say,
Hope to see you again.
the ladies in Oxford were built for that kind of weather, I guess.
It was so cold. So cold.
Insanely
And
cold.
they weren't wearing
And like all the dudes were out there waiting in line with jackets on, and the women were not wearing jackets. I was like, "You ain't cold? You're not shivering or nothing?" Like,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
yo, I guess you got to.
It wasn't just cold, as I'm recalling. It wasn't just cold. I mean, it was very cold outside in that line
And
where they
windy.
were standing, but it was really cold in the venue too, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Like, I feel like I asked for a
Yeah, it
space
was
heater.
on the chilly side, yeah.
Yeah.
But we did have some really bomb ass shawarma.
Wait.
Yeah, that shawarma spot was good. Next week,
It was
time we go to Oxford.
it was the guy, and there was a fight in the
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Forgot about those
I
guys.
did too. We gotta invite all of them.
Yeah, it was in the middle of a snowstorm. Yeah, Jim's talking about the night. Yeah. But yeah, it was lit. That was quite the night. Can't wait till we get back to the UK, man. It's like as soon as everybody gets this stuff together, we can get back out there.
All those nights in the UK were pretty. Those were all great nights. Newcastle, getting to walk around late at night, just around popping up in castles. Some of the castles like yelling at you.
Oh yeah, that was in
Newcastle.
That was in Newcastle.
That was
That was
the
in
actual
Newcastle.
Newcastle, which is
Yeah.
so funny. The whole city's named after what was a Newcastle in like the 1300s.
And then you walk back to the travel lodge, and then you find out you're not even at the right travel
It was
lodge.
totally the wrong
Nope. We
travel.
went to the wrong hotel.
That happened to us multiple times
It looked
too.
exact. It was the same hotel, different location. We were like, wait a minute.
Right, we were like
Our
at
room
our
is not
door.
even in here. Like we went to the key worked in the door to get into the hotel.
Yes.
It worked to get us up to where we thought our room was gonna be.
But then the
Then
key
we get to where
on
the
door
room was supposed
different.
to be, and the room was not there. And they were like, wait a minute.
Something's not
Like,
right here.
No, we think there's another one down there. I was like, oh, okay. Oops.
I want to hear the conversation after y'all left. No, they came in here looking for what?
They were like, what room?
I'm sure that happens to them all the time. I mean, how does every city in the UK, every one of them has two travel lodges that are like 3 blocks apart from each other?
I mean, we
That
can't really
travel
say
money.
much if we live in a country where there's a Starbucks across the street from a Starbucks.
No, there's a Starbucks in the same building as a Starbucks.
True.
Yeah, that was in the
Remember,
UK,
at the-
wasn't it? There was a rest stop in the UK.
At the rest stop.
Yeah.
And there were 2 Starbucks in the same building.
Oh yeah, that rest
They
stop.
were. They
They
were
was
right
in
the
the
one where we
same joint.
That's
Like
the rest stop
15
where we bought all
feet
those
apart.
bottles
No,
of
like-
champagne.
You could throw your coffee from one Starbucks into the other Starbucks.
I am
Yeah.
pretty sure, except for the throwing coffee thing, isn't that true at one of the rest areas on the Jersey Turnpike? Like, there's one
Could be,
rest
yeah.
area on the northern side of the Jersey Turnpike where there's a separate Starbucks, like right
Yeah.
next to the building, but there's also a Starbucks inside the building. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Like Grover Cleveland
You know
or
what?
something,
You
maybe.
said right now, we all as a society need to stop this with the Starbucks. It's just not good. Please, it's not even good coffee anymore. They're not even trying. What?
I'm a stockholder.
I'm trying to get Starbucks. Yeah, bro.
I'm a stockholder.
I'm trying to get a Starbucks sponsorship. Listen, any Starbucks in Philly owes black people a little bit of something, so I'm trying to get me a sponsorship. Like, hey, our son, how you doing? I got your blondie for you. All right.
Right.
And they just walk out
that
like,
Pharaoh says here does not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a cynical shopper. whenever those incidents go down, I see the stock price goes down, so I buy more stock. Because people are gonna drink coffee. They're not giving it up.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not happening.
That's true.
They're not gonna put the pipe down.
Nope.
I've had exactly 1 cup of coffee since March.
Well, just to say, y'all,
It was
do y'all know-
amazing.
However, you've probably had about what 14, 15 gallons of half and half.
Actually, I've not had half and half, but you know what I have had? I've had about 14 or 15 gallons of coffee ice cream.
Okay, whatever works.
That's sweet.
So much happier.
Awesome.
Coffee ice
It's
cream
like
is
that
the
time
greatest.
you gave. It's like the time you gave up chocolate and just ate straight cocoa nibs.
Cocoa nibs. I feel like Wrench has this in the bottom of a film canister
Yep.
or something.
Help! I'm in a bubble.
Jesse
Help me.
Cretney.
I'm trapped.
Jesse Cretney in the Facebook chat wants to know where we from.
Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from, Jesse?
Right. Yeah, you've gotta tell us where you're from first, Jesse. There.
I'm from right here in goofy ass Philadelphia, where I had been living and had living, and probably am gonna be living.
Mm. I'm from the east side of Pensacola, Florida. 850 trades up. My day's up. But I live in Philadelphia now, in dirty South Philadelphia.
South Philadelphia.
You know, down here with the southern folk of Philadelphia.
I guess
Dirty South Philadelphia.
I'm the furthest south not currently. Pharaoh's got us all beat, but as far as
He's
where
in
we
Costa
live,
Rica right now.
as far as where we live, I'm down in DC, just outside of DC in the great Commonwealth of Virginia and the People's Republic of Arlington, right by the Iwo Jima Memorial and the Arlington cemeteries.
Yeah, Jim said he had 5 cups of coffee at work earlier, and now he's on his 5th whiskey. Well, I'm on my
All right,
first
Jim.
whiskey of the
Balance.
evening.
Good luck.
Balance. That's right.
I'm
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
on my first whiskey of the evening.
Sagamore.
Sagamore Spirit Rye.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get a sip of the rye. Doesn't sound as interesting once it's on the commercial.
Anybody gonna have to throw this to chat, but does anybody know what this background is from?
Can't see the thing behind you. It looks like a spaceship of some sort. Nope. What is that?
It looks too cartoony to be missed. It's got kind of an Archer vibe to it. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I don't know.
Spacey.
yeah, no, I don't know.
That's the original concept art for Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah. The unreleased sequel.
It was originally going to be
I'm
a
trying to
spaceship.
drive you to the moon. My God.
I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
That was one of the most spirit crushing movies ever.
I never saw it.
Of course.
It always seemed like it'd be really disturbing.
That was it was a wild flick, man. Like there were several moments in that movie where I wanted Morgan Freeman to punch her in the mouth, and I felt really bad for wanting him to punch an old lady in the mouth. I was like, this can't be the feeling I'm supposed to be having, right? Like, is this
Right.
is this what I'm supposed to be getting from this?
I kept wanting that movie to end like
It might have been bid.
yeah. Oh,
or just him like pulling over and leaving. Be like, you know what? I'm out. Just walk it off.
Or just driving right off the cliff.
Like him diving
like
Thelma and Louise, just
Just passing Thelma and Louise on the way down.
But you see, he jumped out before the
Coconut scented with mango
where
flavor.
we're going, we don't
You know?
need roads.
Dust himself off and just like, nobody need this old bitch anyway. And just walks off, and that's how the movie ends. Like that's where I was. That's the place I was in watching it. Like, why is he putting up with this? She must pay well.
No,
That's it.
It was a time when he had to put up with it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I was just like, Yo, your man's check must be fat though.
What?
Or not. No.
What
No.
were
Those
the
to the audience,
odds?
to the audience.
What were the odds
somehow
that that
Pete was
question
right without
turned into that
getting the
conversation?
place right?
Really?
I
So-
don't know. I
Yeah,
think
right.
maybe there was a bunch of deleted scenes where he was driving her to the hotel.
I hope
He
so.
was putting up with it because Miss Daisy had that good.
I hope so. Oh my God.
Phrasing?
Yo, like imagine he worked for her for like 40 years and all that time he was driving the whole time. You know what I mean?
It was like
Bruh.
Miss Daisy's grandchildren are like, she's always happy when he comes around.
Yo, trying to make the prequel for that right now, bruh.
Right. So she just keeps up the attitude to keep appearances, to make it look like she's mistreating him.
Right, because that is what
I'm about to-
society requires.
I
When
know
really,
it-
when really it's miss.
I know at least 2 people that have done porn that have connections in the porn industry. We about to make the prequel to Driving Miss Daisy. What's up, 2021?
Are we totally sure
Let's
that
get this
hasn't
money.
been made?
No, I'm
Yeah,
sure
no, we're not.
something exists already. Probably like pile driving Miss Daisy or something.
Yeah, probably.
So
Come on,
Pharaoh,
and plus,
did you
know how
think
it works
this
with
was
the
where
internet.
it would
Just because
go?
you mentioned it, that means it already.
It already
Right.
is already out.
I remember
Rule
which rule
36.
that is. It's one.
Listen, I'm
which
trying to get
rule?
this money.
86.
I got bills to pay. What's up?
So yeah. So Pharaoh.
Gotta get this money.
It probably is called Proud Driving Miss Daisy.
I bet money it is.
That's too good of a title for them to use. I'm not even.
I'm not putting that in my search browser though. It's not
definitely
happening.
not.
That is not coming on
All
my
right,
Google
Noli D,
searches.
take care.
Mm.
Don't worry, I got this, y'all.
I appreciate that, Pharaoh. I knew you would.
Google knows me.
So do we get an answer on what that is?
Yeah, what is that?
Right.
What is? No, we didn't.
Because this is the conversation that happened from
Sorry,
your
I
background.
was fully on finding that Miss Daisy joint.
Oh no.
This is something for the fans to be able to get. If they can get it, they can get it. But I don't know.
Aries God Aware says he swears it's well.
Background of a Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it got an extra space in there. It's supposed to be Dragon Balls, right?
Dragon
Dragon
Balls.
Balls.
And you know they already
Just,
got that.
I just want to clarify that was an intentional joke. Video game nerd police, turn around. I know you're headed over here right now. I'm already in trouble with 3 police jurisdictions.
Open that door. We're gonna kill you.
Hey, police radio says they got the warrant.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Actually, that reminds me of the video. Was it the comic book store we stopped by in Atlanta? When we played what's that Smith's? What was it Smith's Old Bar? Was it? Smith's Old Bar is the one right next to the Smoothie
Smith's.
King.
Yeah, that was Smith's.
Yeah, it was.
Remember
We
we
did go to the comic book store. Yeah,
went to the comic book store, and then there was that section,
yeah. They always got those.
and that wasn't comic books.
Yeah, there was some stuff. There was some stuff.
I'm pretty
in
sure
there.
Dragon Balls was in there.
You guys ever see that clip of the guy who's like trying to come out of the comic book store, and there's like a TV reporting crew there to be like, hey, we're just trying to like see what's up with comic book collectors these days. Like, what are you reading there? Like, and he's got his brown paper bag and takes that. He's like, it's like some kind of manga thing, and he's like, it's called Brother Sister. And the reporter's like, oh, like a sweet family adventure kind of thing. Like, they go on adventures, fight some bad guys. And he's like,
There's definitely some fighting.
extremely uncomfortable.
Extremely.
I just thought of that.
You just say yeah. There's this really funny anime clip.
Uh-oh.
Right.
We always got to be a little scared when.
Yeah.
when you say something.
Like that time Pharaoh just like shared his screen of Calvin peeing and then like left.
And left like.
I thought it was
left for like.
inside.
That was
He
when we
comes
were all
back and
new
we're
to
like,
Zoom.
dude, what? What's up with that? He's like, what?
I mean, duh.
What are you talking about?
Right. How new was it, man?
Yeah.
It was just like
It's
everybody.
a very
peed.
popular.
Southwest PA in the house.
Who that is?
I'm really
Richard.
By the way, I'm really sad about that Calvin thing because I had one for something else too, but I guess I
not
won't use
surprised.
One more shout out going out right now before we wrap it up for tonight. I know there's a handful of you watching. Some of you are not yet in our Barnstormers program. And this is the time right now to open up a new tab and go to gangstagrass.com/barnstormers. And let's get another new one tonight and celebrate. You'll make us so happy.
Yes, in the Twitch after party, how about I play the Christmas songs from over on the Nickel Barnstormers page. So like the low tier is only $4 a month. That is less than $1 a week.
Yeah. So join $4 a month and you will be able to log in to your exclusive Barnstormers account with all this free goodie stuff that we've been sending out. It's all going to be available to you. That could be tonight if you just go over and join the club, which is an awesome club and which also is helping us keep our creative thing going here.
Here.
So you will feel very good about it.
What is that the floor plan for?
Oh, it's Among Us.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten around to playing that.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we have to play. You should come to. I do well, I haven't done it lately because I've had some deadlines, but I do
a tutorial.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. On Wednesday night, a bunch of the like DC journalist think tanky folks get together and play. And we had Danjo played with us once. That was really fun. And Colonel Dashiki, who's sometimes here, he played too. And you basically, to play with your friends in a pandemic, you get on a Zoom and instead of basically you're trying to figure out you're a bunch of people on a space station or a spaceship or sometimes some other research facility or something. There's like 3 different maps. And so like there's the reactor and up in the front is navigation and the cafeteria is behind my head. And most of you are crew members, but 1 or possibly 2 or 3 of you are imposters. And the crew members are running around trying to get all the tasks done while the imposters are trying to either sabotage the ship or kill enough of the crew that the imposters couldn't be outvoted. And every time a dead body is found, or if somebody calls a meeting, you go into this emergency meeting. And if you're just playing with strangers, you like use a text chat. But if you're playing with friends, you're on the Zoom and you like unmute your mics and talk about who you think is the murderer. Yep. And then you can vote, and whoever gets the most votes, if someone does, gets booted out the airlock. And maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. So yeah, it was super fun for the first little while that I played it. I'm less enamored with it now, but it's still fun to play with friends. It's like,
Nice.
I don't know, not as exciting to play with strangers because people can be real trolls. But that's actually kind of an interesting experiment. So if you go into an Among Us room and you play long enough that you hang out there, you can kind of set the tone. And, like after every game, you tell everybody good game and you like thank people for stuff and, and just like say nice things and keep it positive. And when people are jerks, you can kind of be like, hey, there's no need for us to treat each other like that. And I found that like 95% of the time I've been able to change the tone of the room. Like people who really, really want to be jerks will just leave. But even sometimes people who were kind of trash talking will just sort of, bring it back and be like super nice to each other and positive and thoughtful. And it's a kind of, I don't know, for me, it's kind of a neat social experiment. Can you make internet trolls not be trolly?
I feel like generally, I think the internet's starting to lean towards a more positive vibe. I think people are getting more comfortable in chat rooms in some places. Let me just say in some places. I ran across a couple of chats where I saw were optimistic. I'm sure there's just troughs of horrid things in some comments. So, in fact, I'll even say honestly, I almost scrolled down on a video once and I saw some things and I was like, I don't need to do this to myself.
No.
So.
Yeah, I mean, have we moved forward since the great rainbow number cake debacle of whatever year that was? I'm hoping we've progressed since then.
Rainbow number cake?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was a chat. I think it was a comments section on a cooking instructional website, and it was some instructions about how to make a cake that has rainbow slices with numbers in it. And somebody asked in the section of the recipe that says to freeze, put the batter in a certain way and then freeze it, and they said, like, how long do you put it in the freezer for, right? And somebody else was like, until it's frozen. And it was about 3 comments from there till people are calling each other Nazis and communists and trying to destroy America, and all kinds of shit just went crazy.
Yeah, that shit was bananas.
Yeah, that's like it's even worse on like news articles. Go to any like newspaper or news page that has comments,
bruh,
and it's like you're gonna get maybe 2 comments before the stuff gets super duper racist, and it starts off with something that has nothing to do with race. It'd be like, everyone's into Birkenstocks now, and they're like, those Negroes hate Birkenstocks, and they don't want white people to have Birkenstocks, or nobody wants to see your ashy toes, Negro. It's like,
right.
Yo, the best ones are like, when you get like news joints. Like I get the 6 ABC news joints here in Philly. They be going hard from the gate. It's like, Mayor Kinney announced that there's more money coming to schools. Maybe if you had put money away in schools 5 years ago, there wouldn't be all these stupid ass kids running around shooting each other in the street.
That's not an illegitimate
calm down
comment.
Also, first comment.
Yeah, first comment. Like,
I try to avoid, like, my hometown, which is in Pensacola, Florida, is one of the biggest culprits when you look at any article that has comments attached to it.
I'm already seeing Jones that are like, blah, 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 Trump 2024. Like, bruh, really?
See,
there's a very good chance he'll be dead by then, man. Like,
or in jail.
I like I can't remember who made this comment, but somebody's talking about the slogan of the Trump 2020, no more bullshit, and that every time they heard that, they heard the Arrested Development style narrator coming on being like, in fact, there would be a lot more bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I would just put the period after no.
You know what? That comment.
More bullshit.
Like
2020. No.
More bullshit.
Locally, you know what? I wouldn't see any of that in news media streams for like Omaha, from where I'm from. But saying something optimistic real quick. There's this. I've been reading a couple of things from noiseomaha.com. It's like some real journalism in Omaha, which hasn't been there. The World Herald just, it hasn't been really reporting on anything.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the big newspapers have dropped local news basically entirely. It's a real bummer.
And there's these kids running around doing this news service. Noiseomaha.com. That's what I'm going to give you. Check it out. Check out the stories if you want to know what's going on there, and learn that people live there. Because most people tell me, which I got, someone told me today, in passing, someone that had an English accent. So I was like, hey, where are you from? And they were like, I'm from wherever. I don't remember where they were from. And they're like, where are you from? I'm from Omaha. Oh, I didn't know people were there. Noise Omaha. Check it out.
Proof that there are people in Omaha.
When I was a kid, my only reference, when I was growing up, the only reference I knew of Omaha was Lauren Green's voice introducing Mutual of Omaha presents.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that like Howdy Doody or something?
No, it was a nature show.
Oh, is it
Wild Kingdom or something like that? Or...
I think I only know about that because of it was in The Americans.
Well,
at some point.
Yeah. I watched a lot of PBS. in them days.
Young
A lot of nature shows and Bob Vila.
Bob Vila and our favorite painter guy. What's his name again?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
The Bobs.
He flew across the screen earlier.
Yeah, and the guy who did Old Yankee Workshop. So I learned about dovetailing.
Yankee Workshop.
I don't know. I do want to shout out K Diesel here, who is mentioning in the Twitch chat. My 14-year-old son regulates his YouTube gaming channel, calling out viewers, commenters for being toxic. I was surprised and impressed. And like that's what I'm talking about, right? That you can actually create a culture in a comments section. So like, you know, back when I was blogging for the Washington Post, people were like, oh, it was so long ago, it was before toxic comments. But it wasn't. It was, people have been like this basically since comments on the internet. And you know, I'm sure if you like went back and looked at bulletin boards back in the day or whatever, you'd find the same thing. And you know, and we just like, I set up ground rules as the, you know, as the author of the blog, and you know, that we were here to have a real dialogue and a discussion, and you know, be respectful to each other. You don't have to be, you know, obsequious, but just be respectful with each other. And you know, and people policed it. Like it was like self-policed. When somebody started making an ad hominem attack, somebody would call them out and say, hey, that's not what we're here for. Make a real argument. You know, this is the person that you're attacking was actually making thoughtful commentary, and you know, and here's my thoughts on that, but you know, you don't need to insult somebody. And it would, and sometimes, like a fair chunk of the time, people would actually apologize, like, oh, you're right, I read what he said and I took it the wrong way, but now that I read it again, and it would get back on track. You really can set a tone in a comment section and set ground rules and do that. And if we all are more thoughtful about that, we might be able to change a good chunk of the character of the internet, one comment section or Among Us room at a time.
Yeah.
You know, I was in some comment heavy. I was in some comment section heavy a little bit ago, and
phrasing.
Oh my God! Sorry. I was just reading one of the Facebook comments.
What were they saying?
No, it's like, there's a Jim in Oxford. He says, my mate sent me a video of an interview with Trump supporters the other day, and it ended with one fella passionately stating that Donald J. Trump was the only choice because the J stood for genius.
No.
It's tough. It's a tough one, man. English is messed up with that JG thing.
Yeah, you really do see it in GIFs. Or possibly Jif. See, I feel like Jif peanut butter solves that whole question.
Well, the thing is, like, because the person who invented GIFs says it should be pronounced GIFs.
Yeah,
but
which
I'm
is
like,
nuts.
if the G stands for graphic,
just like he just
Right.
like George Lucased his whole thing when he did that.
Graphics.
They have very long necks.
Yeah.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
Yeah. So I put the link into all the chats about the rainbow cake recipe apocalypse that happened.
Yeah, I just checked it out. Oh, and to revisit the whole fun show / venue things.
Yes.
Yeah, bring it back.
I just remembered, only because tomorrow's my birthday.
Right, happy birthday.
Is Madison, Wisconsin. Because I got to spend my birthday on stage that time.
Oh yeah. Birthday shows are awesome.
Well, it actually happened in mid-show, like right when the clock struck 12.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty up, but and it was not as cold as it usually is when we're in Madison, Wisconsin.
You know what? My last birthday was in London.
That's right.
Yes,
It was Matt's
you
birthday.
got kidnapped.
Matt's birthday.
What's Matt's birthday?
Wait, that was not London.
Wait, yeah, where did Pharaoh get kidnapped?
That was Glasgow.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, Glasgow.
Pharaoh did get
That was
kidnapped in Glasgow. We
because
should
took
not
you to our happy place.
talk about that just in case Pharaoh's parents are watching.
No.
Which,
We'll see.
and by
We'll see
happy
everybody
place,
later.
I mean,
All right, good night.
by
Good
happy
night.
place, I mean Calabash.
Take it to the Twitch.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
That's totally what we need.
Oh yeah, we go over to the Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah, we went to Calabash in Glasgow. We also ended up at did we end up going to that casino I'm a member at?
No, we went to the ramen spot.
Oh yeah, my ramen spot.
The ramen spot was great. It was so much better than that. What's the one that starts with a W and has the tables that for some reason the benches don't
Oh,
move and
yeah.
it's super squished up and they're mean?
Yeah.
Wagga something.
Wet. Yeah.
Oh no. The Wagamama we went to in London.
Yeah, we went to. Yeah, it was terrible. It
Yeah,
was
she's just
awful.
saying
I'm just saying, like
Wagamama's no
comparing ramen
Yeah,
places.
Wagamama's
Your ramen
Wagamama
place
is
ruled.
is not the spot. That's like
Yeah, your ramen
the
place was
Pizza
awesome.
Hut of ramen. Wait, is Pizza Hut still a thing?
I don't know, but
Yes,
I really
I believe so.
Wagamama was somehow more uncomfortable than a Pizza Hut. It's awful.
I think most of their sit-down spots are closed, but they still deliver.
Yeah, the spot in Glasgow is Ramen Dayo.
That place is so
Good
good.
stuff.
So
It's
on
just
on the birthday tip, I just want to note that so tomorrow I'm doing the dance party at 3 p.m. on the Twitch, but the
Yeah.
following Saturday is going to be Wrench's birthday party, dance party. So
So that's
things are gonna get
Saturday,
crazy.
December 26th, when you're all partied out from Christmas or
Day
whatever.
after Christmas.
Yeah.
And you want to go chill out 3 p.m. Tune in and hang out with me for my birthday stream.
Yeah, he's a Boxing Day baby.
Boxing Day,
Yeah.
baby.
That's right.
So
Speaking
in honor
of,
of Wrench, we're gonna go outside and punch somebody in the mouth. No, I'm kidding.
Or put something in a box. It's your choice.
right,
One or the other.
put the person you punched in the mouth in a box.
In a box. There we go.
Put all of your presents in boxes and send them to me.
Ah, that's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
And will you send us gaff tape in return?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping in and then maybe testing out my new birthday present.
Oh, the 3D printer.
Yeah.
What? You got one?
It's pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
I
Yeah,
got
he's going to 3D print another 3D printer for each one of us.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So tune in tomorrow afternoon for the sleeves party. And if you want to catch more and you're not on the Twitch stream, you're going to have to head over there for a little after party.
Yeah, we'll do a little after
good-
party.
Good hanging out with you guys tonight over in Facebook land and YouTube land.
Quick
Take
question.
care.
Are we doing a Christmas team stream? I don't mind.
Is that on a Friday?
I'm a good Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's this coming Friday, isn't it? Am I
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah,
so.
a week from today.
Since Wrench's Boxing
don't-
Day baby birthday party is the next day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I will be allowed to.
I think on Christmas Day we should stream our Christmas songs for everybody just on.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we can, I was going to suggest we do that in the after party tonight, which we will.
Yeah.
By the way, this is what it would look like if I was balding. That's why I'm doing
If they gave you the Larry Fine.
it.
Larry Fine is also a native of Philadelphia. He was born in South Philadelphia, not too far from where I live right now, like a few blocks that way.
Is he still there?
No, he's been dead for decades.
Okay.
No.
Scores even.
I'm pretty sure Scores was a strip club in Baltimore. So I was about when you said it, I was about to be
Scores
like
is a strip club
phrasing.
in many
but that's...
cities.
Is it really? Is it a chain?
It is a
Like
chain.
the Crazy Horse?
Yeah, I don't know about the Crazy Horse. I remember that Scores was. They made a movie about something that went down in Scores, starring Jennifer Lopez and Cardi B and Lizzo.
Really? That's a thing?
Yeah, it was about the strippers that were like ripping people off, like drugging them and taking their money and all that good stuff.
which apparently Cardi B was actually doing. So
Yeah, right.
she was able to provide that with a little dose of reality.
Right.
We have. Oh shoot!
But she never got canceled for that though. That was my problem.
Yeah.
Like they canceling folks for their parking tickets.
People tried to cancel her, but I think it's just that her swarm was too big to fight back.
Yeah, but we did a little research and found out that Cardi is actually short for cardiologist. B. Cardiologist B, which I think we should all start calling her cardiologist B.
Dr. B.
We did tease at the beginning about a super secret conspiracy that we have uncovered and we'll be bringing to light about the coronavirus and the vaccine. Thank you all for sticking around. We'll leave you with this thought that we will be exploring and exposing in the future. It turns out we have it on good authority. The vaccines are actually going to include Gangstagrass. So watch out. It's in the vaccine.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
They're putting Gangstagrass in the vaccine.
It's happening.
Right. They took the last 2 albums and encoded it into the DNA strands of the of the antibodies.
They'll show up in you like a U2 album on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Get some.
You get the vaccine, and then all of a sudden you just hear Gangstagrass songs playing in your ears. It's crazy.
That's the real after
Side
party.
effects they don't want you to know about.
That is what this country needs. So Facebook and YouTube people, come on over to gangstagrass.tv for the after party.
Uh-oh. Thank you for that recipe, Jim, because I will attempt to bake that. I am copying and pasting.
Keep in mind that Jim was 5 whiskeys in when he typed this up. So.
I thought Jim Stillman was giving out tri-tip recipes. I'd be like, hold on.
Giving out what?
Real quick.
Tri-tip.
Oh.
Nope, different Jim. Oh. Different Jim. This is a British Jim. He's sure he can handle his whiskey.
That's British Jim, okay.
So like, I don't know if you noticed during our meeting before this, what I was eating was that was another go of that steak that I did in the cast iron. In the
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven. Last time I did it again.
Did you guys actually read this recipe that Jim just put in the chat? It's pretty funny.
No.
Hey, please go ahead and just go ahead and leave that on the bench outside the crib. I'm gonna just run by and grab the rest of that. Good looking out. I'll be there. Work.
That is if there's any left, because my wife was digging into it as I came upstairs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guarantee there's probably none of it left. But
wait, what was the recipe that Jim dropped? What was the recipe? And then I'm changing and then meet us at Gangstagrass TV because I will be
whiskey Christmas cake.
Oh, plausible, like a rum cake.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Sample a cup of whiskey to check the quality. Check the whiskey again to make sure it's the higher quality and repeat.
Maybe I'll make some rye bread.
Yeah, by the time you're finished baking this cake, you will be seriously sauced. Let's sip 2 cups of coffee, salt or something. Then check the whiskey.
Or something. 2 cups of salt or something. Gross.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is hilarious.
Yes.
Right.
For anybody else that's not on the Facebook stream, we'll copy and paste Jim's recipe over to
oh my gosh.
the other chat section in the Twitch. So come on over to Twitch and we'll talk about this recipe.
Gangstagrass.tv. Come on over. Bye, Facebook and YouTube.